The following program is a public access production. Comcast is required to provide time on this channel and make it available pursuant to franchise agreements with the communities we serve. Comcast is not affiliated with the following program or the producers of public access programming and is not responsible for the content. The following program does not reflect the opinions of Comcast or its affiliates.
Welcome to another edition of Discover Tinley, where we highlight the people and organizations of Tinley Park that make our town a great place in which to live. And as we all know, Tinley Park is a pretty great place in which to live. My name is Ron Centani. I'll be your host tonight and come to you courtesy of the Community Resources Commission, the volunteer services of the commission, along with our high school, college, adult volunteers, all volunteer network putting on these programs for you every month. A lot of things going on. Discover Tinley, for those of you watching this at the first part of April, Discover Tinley is April 8th over at the Convention Center starting at 10 a.m. Hope to see you all over there. It's usually a pretty great thing to have there and see all the different organizations and businesses in town here that make Tinley Park a nice place in which to live, the area here. And the other thing coming up in the future is the scholarships. Tinley Park offers several high school scholarships for young people, and we're going to be announcing those in May. So hopefully you all got your applications in and getting those scholarships going through the Community Resources Commission. Speaking of the Community Resources Commission, our first guest is kind of familiar with that. We thought it would be nice to have somebody who has been around for a while, actually a long while, and she usually acts behind the cameras all the time, but now we got her in front of the camera, the chairman of the Community Resources Commission, Reta Brudd.
Hi, Ron.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I've done everything from host since 1981 when we started doing the cameers and the filming.
Is that when? I forgot the year.
1981, the old
goodness.
Metrovision studio
Yeah.
on Oak Park Avenue. I've done everything from host to the old character generator in order to put titles up and camera, and over the years, pretty much all parts of it.
I guess.
Now I'm kind of behind the scene.
Okay. Let's talk about Discover Tinley first of all, because that's coming up soon. What's the Community Resources Commission role in that, and what does it take to put that thing on every year?
Well, Discover Tinley is an event that was intended, it started in 1977, and it was intended to let all the new people in town, there were huge numbers of new people in the 70s and 80s, to know what was going on in town, what's available, where you can find a doctor, a dentist, a bank, a fraternal group, the Lions or the Veterans, what churches are around. It was just an easy way in a few hours to walk through. And it used to be at Brementown Mall. And
tell people where Brementown Mall used to be.
For those of you who moved in here after 1990, I think is when it came down, or didn't come down, was reconfigured, is where Menards is. That was an indoor mall. There was a movie theater at the end. And then it ran all the way down to what was Gately's, was the anchor store, which is now the garden center for Menards. Menards has taken over that whole space. And we used to have it in the mall, and it was a 3-day event. We'd start out a Friday night with some games, and Saturday and Sunday we had expos, vendors there,
booths and
booths
and
and entertainment. And We did that for 2 years in a row, and then we realized this is a lot of work. So we moved it to every other year.
Right.
And then when the mall closed, we moved to Grissom School and a one-day event.
Right.
And first year or so, we didn't get as many people out as we liked. So we got the chamber involved to run a raffle.
Oh, yeah.
And we asked all of our vendors to make a donation. And it was a huge raffle,
Yeah.
and it was a lot of fun. And the chamber helped us with that. And but again, the work, because all the setup, we'd have to go in the night before and set up all the tables, all the chairs.
Yeah, we had to put up
We
the
did this
tables
all.
and chairs and everything all ourselves.
And we had to put little cups under the table
Right,
legs
right.
because it was a gym floor.
Right.
And so we kind of, you know, we're very grateful when the convention center opened.
Yes.
Because now we have what I consider an extremely professional expo. We have roughly between 160 and 180 vendors, along with entertainment. It's all pipe and drape and between the booths. And there's a lot, while there's a lot less work for us physically to do, we don't have to set up the tables and that. There's still a lot in the layout and the applications and that.
Yeah, how far in advance do we
We
actually
send
start
out the applications, well, we go over them every December.
Right.
And then we get them printed, and then we send them out the first week in January. And this year they're due in by April 23rd, I believe.
March 23rd.
March 23rd, excuse me, it's April 8th is the
Yes.
event.
Yeah.
March 23rd. And then sometimes if we have an open space, we can squeeze a late vendor in.
Yeah.
But
But it
by the
takes.
time you see this, it'll be basically too late.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
oh,
we
yeah.
hope you will be coming out to visit us. It's a great event. It's free. Everything is free. People cannot, the vendors that are for-profit organizations cannot sell. The non-for-profits, like the Lionesses, will sell tickets maybe for their bunko or their pancake breakfast, and the Special Rec Association is doing a raffle. You know, there's
Yeah.
different things that go on.
Yeah.
But the only sales are the nonprofits, so it's intended to. We have, you know, a lot of the village booths. I know the village is going to do something special this year on the branding
Oh,
and also on the new water meters.
okay.
So there'll be somebody from Public Works there. If you have a question, if you haven't gotten one or you're going to get it and you have a question, here's your chance to walk up and talk to somebody.
And there's usually somebody from the clerk's office or the,
The
office,
clerk's office
different
will be
offices
there
and
with
some of the
different
commissions
stuff.
and-
Several of the commissions, I know right now we have the ECC and the Sister Cities, and I'm trying to remember. I look at the applications,
yeah.
but we rely a lot on two people to get this Discovery Tinley put together. One is Al Seegers. Without him and his computer work on doing the booths and laying out all the booths, I'm not sure where we'd be. And also Denise Malipolitano, who is our secretary. She does all the correspondence. And we have something new this year. We're going to do a blood drive.
Oh.
Heartland will be there with their vans,
Okay.
vehicles,
Okay.
and they'll be doing blood drives. So if you got an extra hour, here's your chance to give blood.
Oh,
And
okay.
contrary to what I thought, there is no age limit on giving blood. It's only a health issue.
Oh.
You have to be over 16.
That's what I thought.
But-
yeah.
You can be 85 if you're healthy.
I don't know if they want my older blood.
Well, they sure do. They need blood
Okay.
desperately. And so they'll have a booth inside, but they'll be running the blood drive outside.
Okay.
So if you see something about that, that's at Discover Tinley. You can come give blood, then go walk around, relax, sit down, have something to eat in the entertainment area. We got a lot of great entertainment. TNT Dance Images, the Tinley Park High School Jazz Choir, Mr. D. There'll be a balloon man, Chataskik will be there. The Model Railroad Association will be back, and that's always a big draw. They have
Right.
such a cool display.
Right.
And of course, the fire department and the police,
Police
and
and all that stuff. Yeah.
lots and lots of vendors. So you can find anything from a dentist to somebody to put gutters up in your house. You know,
Okay.
a massage therapist.
Let's talk about how you got started in all this. When did you get started on the Human Resources Commission? Back then,
It
it was
was
called
the Human Resources Commission. Well, when we bought our house in Tinley, the gentleman that sold it to us lived right down the street from us. His name was Ed Zabrocki. Of course, at that time, he was not he was just getting involved in the village, but we were both on the Homeowners Association for a couple of years. And so he said to me, I think you should come. I wanted to go and talk to the village about this trailer that the developer had left sitting there and the kids were breaking into, and we were concerned about it sitting there. So I went up at the same time. It just so happened that I got a call from Trustee Ray asking me if I'd be willing to serve on the commission. So on March 19th, 1973,
oh my,
I was appointed to the commission. I was appointed by motion by Trustee Ray, and seconded by Trustee Mason, Bob Mason. And since then, I have been on the commission.
So that's how many? I don't know, how many
44 years
wow.
this March.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Now who was chairman at the time you
At
were?
the time that I came on, Jim Zerny,
Okay.
who then went on to become a trustee.
Right.
Then Ed Zabrocki stepped on, and then he went on to become a trustee.
Yeah.
Then I think it was Charlie Smith, then Jerry Hubanks. I'd have to think long and hard to get the full sequence, but in 1985, Chris Bartoli was appointed chairman. And Chris and I had been doing a lot together with regards to the studio and that. And he served 1 year as chairman and went in and told the mayor he can't do it unless he gets a co-chairman. So he and I then became co-chairman until his death in 1998. And we still miss him desperately.
Yeah.
So there's been so many people over the years.
So you've been chairman since when now?
1987.
Oh my, okay.
A long time, 30 years.
30 years, yeah.
Well, I know, but I started at 10.
Yes.
So it's okay. Yeah, no, the village has been very kind to me. I had this lovely plaque they gave me at my 40th anniversary that you guys all figured that out and surprised me with.
Okay.
But I do it because it's fun.
Okay.
When it stops being fun, I stop it.
Right. Now, what's some of the other things the commission has been doing over the years?
Over the years, the commission's done so much. We did DARE programs. We did Sister City. We started a lot of programs and then turned them over on their own to people who were interested in it. The Bicycle Safety Group, the Health Services Commission, Sister City Commission. Those are all groups that started with us. The Seniors Commission.
Right.
They all started with us, and then as we got them where there were enough people interested, they moved on. And that's what it should be. It shouldn't be one program. We've kept a few, like Discover Tinley.
Yeah.
We've picked up some, like Youth in Government and the scholarships.
Right.
And
Do the Christmas
studio
thing every
we've
year.
kept. We picked up the studio thing in 91, I think.
Christmas, you mean?
Yeah, the Christmas. I'm
okay.
sorry. We picked up the Christmas, I think, in 91.
Oh, okay.
We've done it ever since. Of course, now we have the market that goes with it, so it's a fun type
Yeah.
thing. They're all fun, and it's all to let people know, to communicate with our citizens about what the village has so much to offer
Right.
and does so much to try and make this a wonderful place to live.
Now, how many people are on the commission?
There are 11 members and 3 associate members.
Okay.
We do a lot. We're a working commission.
Yeah.
We're physically out there doing, so we need a large commission.
And when and where do we meet?
We meet the second Wednesday of every month in the Carlson Center at 7:30. If you're interested in either any programs or just finding out more about us, you're more than welcome to attend our meetings. All of our meetings, of course, are open to the public.
Okay. And you're going to be on for another 40 years, you think, or something
no.
like that? Oh.
No. I'm not going to guarantee much more
Right.
beyond taking it a year at a time. I had a health scare earlier last year or late last year, and it made me reevaluate things a little. So, but I still enjoy it, and for the time being, I'll be there.
Okay. Well, it sounds good. You've been there for 40-some years already, and I think it's been going very well. So hopefully it will keep it up, and the studio thing is going very well. So apparently it's in good hands. So I think we're going all right.
We have some fantastic young volunteers that have continued. We have one family, we're on the third of their children.
Okay.
And the second on another. So we're real excited with having these students, and they stay around and they continue even through college if they're able to,
Right.
or come back, like Mark has come back to us after working professionally and that. So we're real pleased.
Well, thanks for being a chairman all these years and working on the commission. And Community Resources Commission Chairman Reta Brudd, longtime volunteer in Tinley Park, and hope that we continue with that. So good luck to you.
Thank you.
Well, that was very interesting with the Reta Brudd, the longtime chairman of the Community Resources Commission, formerly the Human Resources Commission. And this goes to show you what Tinley Park's reputation has been for volunteer efforts over all the years. It's been, all the years that I've been involved volunteering at Tinley Park, I've known a number of people who've been around for quite a while. So if any of you are interested in volunteering, give a shout out and let the village know, hey, you're available. And they'll try to find some place for you to put you on a volunteer basis. Our next guest has been around for Tinley Park for a while, and more on the arts side. Tinley Park has got a good reputation for being kind of an art colony, art community with various art things going on throughout the year. And we have with us the gallery director of the VVAC, the Vogt Visual Arts Center in Tinley Park, Julie Dekker. Welcome to Discover Tinley.
Hi, thanks for having me.
The gallery director, you're in charge of
That sounds important, doesn't it?
This sounds very important.
I know, I love it. I love it. Direct things
okay.
all the time.
Well, that's good. You give directions? Someplace.
Yes, I do.
Okay, again, for people who don't know, where is it located at, and what is it?
The Vogt Visual Arts Center. It's located at 17420 South 67th Court. That's basically 174th and Oak Park Avenue, right in downtown Tinley. So, and we're on the east side of the street, set back just a little bit there behind the Citibank.
Okay, yeah, if you go by the bank there, you just look to the east.
Yeah, it is in the Henry Vogt House,
Okay.
the historical Henry Vogt House, that beautiful white Victorian with the gazebo in the yard. Yeah.
All right. And what goes on at the we call it VVAC for
yeah,
short, I guess.
VVAC, and some people don't understand what that means. We even have signs, big banners that say VVAC, and if, you know, until you know what that is, I guess it confuses people a little bit. But Vogt Visual Arts Center, it's actually our 21st year this year.
Oh my.
Believe it or not, we're part of the Tinley Park District.
Okay.
And we do art classes there. We have our whole upstairs we use for all our different art classes, and downstairs we have a gallery.
Like what kind of art classes are you talking about?
Oh, just a bit of everything. We have oil painting, acrylic painting, watercolor painting, drawing, colored pencil, stained glass, children's classes. We have a lot. Yeah, we have a lot of classes.
And how do people get in those classes?
Through the Park District.
Okay.
Yeah, the Park District catalog is what you want to look at. So, or you know, tinleyparkdistrict.org, and you can find the whole catalog online.
Okay, wow. So you get a lot of people going to those things.
We
and
do.
Doing that
It's
stuff.
really neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Park District is very affordable, I have to say, in comparison to other art classes around. We do very well in that respect.
Okay.
And then now the downstairs is my area, and that is the gallery. And I have a different exhibit every month. So.
Yeah. Now, what kind of things do you have going on there? What kind of programs or exhibits? Say this last year, what kind of things have you had on display there?
Well, always during our December, January, we just finished up into that December, January, was our Dollhouse and Miniature Show. Now that show was been going on for years. It's about the 15th annual like that. And it's basically a miniature show. It stemmed from dollhouses, but they get a little passe. Now people create all these wonderful miniature scenes and rooms and things like that. But this year, coming up, I'm doing something a little bit different because I think it's really time to change it up. I'm going to turn it into a train show, a train and miniature show.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there's a lot of train lovers, right?
Oh,
right?
yes,
yeah,
yes.
I know. You're not the only one. As soon as I said train, boy, guys everywhere are just lighting up. There's a lot of train collectors, hobbyists, you know. So I'm going to try switching it up this year.
So what month will that be?
That'll be December and January. That is actually the only exhibit I keep up for 2 months because there's a lot in the setup of it. A big, you know, it's all miniatures and it takes up the whole gallery.
Okay.
So I'm going to give myself a shot at trains
Oh,
and
wow.
see what we get. So I'm actually going to be looking for people who can exhibit their model trains. Need setups, multiple setups throughout the gallery. So that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
All right, but that's our December, January. February, which we just came off of, was huge. Every February I do an open show, open to anybody. The theme was What Do You Love? And I actually had 100 artists in that show,
goodness.
which is a record. I've never had that many people. And I had over 200 pieces of artwork, well over 200 pieces of artwork. And that was just a blast. A very eclectic exhibit, because I open it to people of all levels. It's children, adults, professionals, any talent level, whatever. So That's a lot of fun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. And then March, open photography. You might know something
That's-
about that
I
one.
know something about that,
know
thank
that?
you.
Yeah, yeah. Open photography is wonderful
yeah,
because
yeah.
our photographers are just, there's phenomenal
Yes.
photographers in our area. And we, our artists come from, outside of Tinley Park as well. I get artists from all over the place. So same with the photographers. So I get to see some really beautiful photography. And if you haven't been into the gallery, you need to stop in and see our gallery because the quality of artwork is something that would really amaze most people.
It does. Every time I go in there, I just amazed at what goes on in there. It's not just somebody's Crayola drawings there. You got some really
not at all.
nice things in there.
There are very talented people in our
yeah,
region.
I
There
know
really
it.
are. And there's not a lot of places to exhibit your artwork, and that's one of the things that lends itself to the success of the gallery, is that there just are so few places to show your work, and there's so many good artists out there. I could do twice as many shows a year.
Probably. Yeah, I don't know of any others around the area here.
No, there's not too many.
Yeah,
There's not too many.
Okay, so what's some other shows you have in there now?
Let's see, for what are we on? April. Oh, April, I'm featuring the Painted Turtle. That's the other new gallery that just opened up on the corner of 175th and Oak Park Avenue.
Okay.
And they deal with special needs adults. And they actually do, they do artwork there on premises, and their gallery is open in studio all the time for people to go into. So I'm actually going to feature them in their artwork. So that's going to be special. I've never done that before. That's April. May is District 146, actually. I do the school kids from grades 1st through 8th. So we'll have that. That's a good one, too, because young people do really interesting art. I do like getting young people's art in. June is going to be a biggie. June is another open show, meaning it's open to anybody. And I'm going to give you contact numbers for this. So if it's something people want to, be a part of, they can certainly, contact me to get into
And
this.
open means any medium?
Open is any medium.
Okay.
But there is a theme to this one, and the theme is water.
Oh.
So, it can be jewelry, sculpture, hanging things, paintings, whatever it is that you do, glasswork, just the whole gamut, which is going to make it a really interesting show. And July, I have a Collage Society, the Midwest Collage Society. Very exciting work, very quality work. They're from all over every state. They really are the Midwest Collage Society. Let's see, July, I have a textile and fabric show. July, August, where am I at? September?
Yeah, August, September.
Oh, September.
Yeah.
Lindsay Sandboth. Fantastic nature artist. You're not going to believe what this girl can do. She's going to be very famous one day, trust me. Very famous. She's really getting her stuff out there.
What kind of medium she uses?
She paints in acrylic.
Oh,
a lot of
okay.
acrylic on board, which is near and dear to my heart. And but her birds are like something you've never seen. October, a local artist, Barbara Edwards, who is an abstract artist. Very interesting, very exciting stuff. Totally opposite of Lindsay, so one or the other. November is high school show.
Oh.
Annual high school show. We do Tinley High School, Andrew, and all the Lincoln Way schools.
Okay.
Do that every year. That's an annual. And then that brings us back into December. We're going to get those trains,
Trains
I hope.
in there, all right.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. Special to note, though, during our June, July, and August shows, we do have live jazz with those.
That's what I was going to ask you. You had some special,
Yeah,
some
we do
extra.
out in the gazebo. We use that for our jazz concerts, which is really nice. Kind of Ravinia style, You can bring your food and what have you, and bring your chair and sit out there during the reception, and, reception going on inside. Party going on outside. It's just, they're wonderful.
And when do those happen? When do those?
They are on the Friday night of the receptions for each of those shows, for the June, July, and August.
Okay.
So that's usually the first Friday.
First Friday?
It'll be the first Friday. July, I think it never works on the first Friday because it's always around 4th of July. So the July one is actually the second Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's that. And then we have our art fair coming up.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about you still doing that?
June 3rd. Yeah, it'll be our ninth annual art fair, which is nice. It's on the grounds of the whole gallery there, and that's exciting. That's from 10 to 4. And also the same day is going to be live jazz and music out there in the gazebo too. So.
And that's now, if people want to display or have
Yes.
a booth there, how do they do that?
They would do it through the Park District.
Okay.
It's actually in the catalog as well. It's under Art Fair, and it has a program number just like all the classes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be out of town that day, so I'm not going to be there. I can't do
Yeah,
it.
it's a one-day show,
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
kind of throw all our eggs in that one basket,
Yeah.
but it usually works out really well. It's
Okay.
growing very well. I'm happy about that art fair.
Okay, good. Yeah, you've been doing pretty good with all that kind of stuff
Oh, yeah.
there.
We have so many new people who have come.
Yeah.
And, you can just sense that people are looking for creative things to do and places to go. And we get a lot of people from out of town.
Really?
A lot of people.
Yeah, who kind of people visit? What kind of visitors do you have coming into that?
Well,
the VVAC?
anytime someone is in from out of town, they sort of wander our downtown area looking for things, you know, like that. And word of mouth is usually what gets places like us or the Historical Society or somebody else we're kind of little hidden treasures, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And you almost have to talk to somebody, you know. And but they find out about it somehow, and we get a lot of out of town people and people who know about us when they have guests. They bring their guests. We're one of the places people always bring their families to and their guests to. So I'm kind of honored by that. That's really neat.
Do you have school kids coming in there too?
We have school kids a lot.
Really?
Yes, because it is in the historic Henry Vogt House.
Yeah.
We give our historic tours every October. We'll have about 500 kids come through. I get scout groups come through all the time. You know, they get art badges and all that stuff. And I get even college students who are doing art appreciation and all that kind of thing. They come in too because we're one of the few art galleries. Without having to go downtown to the Art Institute, you can actually come to a gallery and do the same type of observation, you know, that you would do for an art study.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's very helpful.
You got that. Now, okay, what days and hours is it open now?
We are open Tuesday evenings from 7 to 9,
Okay.
Wednesday from 4 to 7, Thursdays during the day 11 to 2, and at night from 7 to 9, Fridays 11 to 3, Saturdays 11 to 4.
Okay.
So we're only closed on Sundays and Mondays.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
We got to get more people. You got to get more hours in there.
I don't know when, Ron.
Yeah, I know.
That's really hard.
Now, how do you, when you get all these things, how do you put up that whole show there? You got 100.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
That is what I do best.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. I actually love it. I don't know why, but it's kind of something that works for me. It's sort of like playing Tetris.
How do you, I'm sure how you do that. 'Cause if you haven't been in there, there's 100 stuff all hanging on the wall.
I average
You put a
150
nail,
pieces.
you don't put a nail in for
I
me.
do. I know. And you're
Oh
the one
my-
who installed the hanging system like
Okay.
20 years ago,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel bad about
No,
that.
no,
I
but-
use parts of the hanging system, but other parts get nailed in. Otherwise, I'd never get all the work up.
But you got to put all those nails in the wall. You got to hang all those things.
Yeah.
Who helps you?
Well, I hang the shows.
Okay.
If I have something super duper heavy,
Okay.
then Kurt, my husband, helps
Okay.
me. And Kurt's always been kind enough to print all my labels out. You know, all those little title cards.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Don't like to type.
Oh, yeah.
No, no,
Oh,
that's
geez.
not me. That's not
Okay,
me. So,
okay.
you know, he'll let me do that. And when it's takedown, if he's around, he can help me take it down too. So that's
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Wow.
No, I hang the shows though.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's a lot of work, though. I go in there.
Well, there's a
I
lot
don't
of
know whether-
planning in it.
I
It's
know
not
it.
just hanging it
I
up.
was just saying, how do you figure out what goes where? That
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Well, it's a composition all in itself.
Yeah,
I have-
oh, yeah.
It
Oh, you
really
better
is.
believe it,
It has a lot
yes.
to do, and I think being an artist
Yeah, you
helps
can't just
that.
stick something up one here or there. There's a
No.
rhyme or reason for why you put things together.
Yeah. And
yeah.
luckily, I've been doing it a long time
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, I've been doing it for like the last 10 years. So it's become a little bit formulaic for me. So I kind of know my walls and I know
Okay.
kind of,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
where to start and where to go with it. So.
Why is it important to have something like this in town? What do you think it brings to Tinley Park and the area?
Well, there's a whole cultural side to people, and there's a whole creative and interesting side to people, and everything can't just be all business, you know. There is a big art community out there. I mean, bigger than most people know, and you really wouldn't know that unless you go to a place like this and you come to one of our receptions. You're not going to believe. Were you at the What Do You Love reception by any chance?
No, I didn't get to that. No, I'm sorry.
You couldn't move in there.
Oh,
We
wow.
had probably close to 300 people come through
Oh,
that
get
day.
out of here.
I'm not kidding.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, and within those people, they meet, they talk, you meet artists. There were so many connections made, and that's what happens all the time. And people really want to go somewhere peaceful and happy and quiet, somewhere where they can see art. There's a lot more art appreciators out there than you would realize.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good to see. That's good to
Yeah.
hear. We need to kind of stimulate more of that.
It rounds out. It rounds out the village. You know, it really does.
It puts a nice, everything's got an edge to it, and art gives it kind of a nice fluid motion to it.
Oh, it just opens your
yeah,
mind.
yeah.
It really does. You know?
Last thing, what's the number? Is there a contact number they should call if they want to get a hold of you?
Yeah, your best way to contact you is to call me, 708-309-4371, or the gallery direct is 708-614-6503.
Wow.
Or you can go on tinleyparkdistrict.org and you can get the full catalog and everything.
VVAC, Vogt Visual Arts Center in Tinley Park. Come out and see the thing, and you got some tremendous shows coming up there. So thanks for coming to Discover
You're
Tinley.
welcome. Thanks for having me.
Well,
This is great.
it's always a pleasure seeing that, and watch out for Discover Tinley, and we'll see you next month.